Guys, have y'all ever fixed a Cheddar Bay chicken pot pie? That's what we're going to be fixing tonight. So, y'all stick around for this recipe and let's see how it turns out. First of all, we're going to start out with a fourth of a stick of butter. We get it in our pan and get it melted. And to that butter, I've got one medium onion. You can use one medium onion or shallot, chopped. And we're going to saute it in this butter, this melted butter, until it softens up. So let me get this going and it softened up, and we'll move on to our next step. Okay, now I've got a cup of a little bit of all-purpose flour, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of that into the onion and butter mixture just for a thickener. You probably use a couple of tablespoons, and what you do is you'll get that going. You want it to kind of absorb up the butter, and you just keep that stirring in your onion and butter mixture until it gets brown. So we got that cooking on about a medium-high heat. And you want to cook it enough to where it'll get that flour taste out of your, it'll cook your flour a little bit. I'm going to add just about another teaspoon of butter. Another little tablespoon of butter in it. It kind of looked like it got a little bit too thick, so I'm going to add about another tablespoon. Half a tablespoon of butter. You want to keep this stirring until it gets brown, a good color to it before we add the broth. So let me get it browned and I'll be right. All right, we got our butter and our onion and our flour all cooked and it browned. And now we are ready to add 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And kind of get that all stirred together and whisked together. See how that will thicken that broth up, and see we cook that old rawness out of your flour. So we got our poultry seasoning. Hold on just a second. All right, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. I usually don't measure. I usually just sprinkle stuff in, but a lot of people will want to know the measurements of everything, and I'm one of these people that just sprinkles it in, Got a black pepper, and then we're going to do a teaspoon of ground thyme. If you got fresh thyme, you can use that. I'm going to do just about 1/2 teaspoon of it. And then I'm going to use a whole teaspoon of poultry seasoning. All right, we're going to take and stir that together. And then to that, I'm going to get this whisk, got all the flavors of that whisk together. We're going to add our chicken Remember the chicken that I cooked? Lord have mercy, I didn't know I was so close to get to that. I am so sorry. The chicken that I cooked the other night, and I told you that we was going to do some recipes, several recipes with it. I've got 2 more of those chicken breasts cut up. And so I'm going to be adding that into the mixture. That's 3 cups of chicken. That was 2 of those chicken breasts. Got it all stirred together. I'm going to change back into my whisk here. Put my whisk into my spoon. And then we're going to stir in 1.5 cups of your vegetables. You take and pour your vegetables in. You can use frozen or canned, whichever you would prefer to use. This looks a little bit thick, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about another cup, half a cup to another cup of chicken broth, because this is a little bit thicker than what I like. So I'm just going to add just a little bit at a time till we get it stirred down a little bit to thin down. And then I'm going to take and pour it into another pan. You can cook this in an iron skillet if you've got a big one, you know, that is a skillet like a 10 or 12 inch size to hold it all. You can cook it in the pan that you cook it in. But I'm going to pour mine into a casserole. I got it. See how it changed? It was really, really thick looking, and it's kindly more. I've got it thinned down just a little. That's the consistency that you want. You don't want something just real thick, gummy. You want to always kindly check the texture of it and make sure that it's more thin down looking. Can y'all see that? I'll bring you over into it a little bit. How's that? Is that better? You can get a better view of it. I should have cut the camera off before I moved it. I'm sorry, I didn't think. It's thick, but it's not gummy thick. And that's what the consistency that you want. So let me get this poured into the casserole dish, and we'll switch back over, and I'll be right back with you. All right, we're going to mix up the topping for our pot pie. We've got the packet for the Cheddar Bay biscuit mix. We got the flour right here. So the packet, the seasoning packet, we will put it aside until the pot pie gets done before we add it. You use a box of the biscuit mix. You'll use a half a cup to a cup of cheese. I've got a cup of cheddar cheese grated. You know me, I'm always going to do that extra. If it says half, I'm going to put a cup. And I got 3/4 a cup of water. And so what we'll do is we will combine that together. You'll take and stir it together and combine it. Get that all mixed together. I've got my oven already preheated at 375, so it's done heated up and waiting on us. So we got that, and let me get my casserole moved back over here. you take your scoop and you just put this over the top of your, when you get it mixed, you put it over the top of your chicken casserole, chicken pot pie. You want it all over the top of it. You just take and make your little small biscuits all over the top of it, like so. And you'll bake this for 12 to 18 minutes until your biscuits gets good and brown and done. And then you will have your crust for your pot pie done. Running out of room, ain't I, for my biscuits. But that's what you do. You just take and cover it, and then I'll when it gets done and I take it out of the oven, I'll bring you back and I'll show you how to do the rest of it. After cooking this on 375 for about 18 to 20 minutes until your biscuits gets done on top, you take the packet that comes with a Cheddar Bay biscuit seasoning packet, and you take 3 tablespoons of butter. And once you get your pot pie out, you take and you just brush that seasoning packet over your biscuit. Oh, it smells so good. Now, this was made out of that chicken now that I cooked the other day that I told you that I cooked that pack of chicken and I had broke it up, you know, for 2 or 3 meals. This is the second meal from it. The first meal was barbecue chicken, barbecue sandwiches, and the second meal is this pot pie. And I don't know if I told you, I hope that I got it filmed. The recipe for the biscuits was 3/4 cup of water, the mix for the biscuit, and a cup of cheddar cheese. You can use a 1/2 cup to a cup of cheddar cheese. I always go for the whole cup. And a little bit of cheddar always makes it better, right? But anyway, I hope that y'all enjoy this. I hope that it's something that you would like to make for your family. And it's tasty, it's wholesome, it's warm on a good football night, and it's very, very good. Get us some of that juice out. Look at there. This is how it looks, all hot and steamy. I can't wait to get a bite of it. That's gonna be pretty hot, so I'm gonna wait and let it cool down. Well, I know y'all probably wanna see me, so hold on, let me get me a spoon. I don't know, had to let this cool for a little bit. But you got your chicken, you got all your vegetables on the inside of it, and that good cheddary crust. And you'll have leftovers if it's just you and your husband or a small family. You'll have leftovers for tomorrow. So make you one, you'll love it, I promise. That is so good. I hope that you'll enjoy this recipe. I hope that you'll make him one. And I hope that you'll cook something wholesome for your family. And y'all gather around the kitchen and talk for a little while. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay cool and keep it between the lines.